Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at BTC. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below in the comments section. Okay, so let's get into this now. So we're still looking at the same things here within the structure. We're looking at whether we have the potential for this to play out as a flat correction, where we're looking for the C wave to the downside. Alternatively, this can also be a WX and a Y to the downside here, where we have a bigger structure forming, a bigger corrective structure forming out here, where we could actually look to push down in a three-wave move rather, and that would be looking for something like this to play out. So this is something that we can still see happen. So we're going to go over some of the options. The other way we were looking at this is potentially that we are still looking for this fifth wave to the upside, though the only way that this can play out now, because we've actually lost this low point here of this 22,764, is we'd have to look at this potentially as a diagonal to the upside. So we're going to go over these options first. We were looking at the potential of this playing out from back here, but the structure now has actually become too it's become too overlapping, and we've actually come down too deep for this to play out. We were looking at this potentially being a basically a 1-2-1-2, and then actually looking to progress up here. But that option is invalidated. This is what I'm talking about here. So you see, we were talking about if we come below this low point here of this 22,760, it would invalidate this option, and we have done that. So we can't look at this as a five-wave structure to the upside anymore from this point. Okay, so the only way that it can still be um, is if this is a diagonal. And effectively, what we'd have to look at here is the potential that we could see something like this play out, where we have this as a 1, we form this as a wave 2, we come back up here as a wave 3, but we couldn't, the third wave couldn't move past this 24,394. If we do move up above that, effectively that would invalidate this structure, and it would be actually more likely that we've just had that we're just having another corrective leg up here. So we just got to be careful. We can argue that this is completed in here as a bigger fourth wave, where this becomes a B and we get a C wave if we count this as a five wave structure here. But it is also possible we just get a move up and we reject to the downside. But this is the diagonal option. What we'd want to see is three wave structure playing out here, where this becomes an A, this becomes a fourth, this becomes a fifth. So we'd be looking for these additional legs here, where we get three wave structure up, and this could potentially look to form between these channels that we have here. If we do continue to move like this, you can see we've got the 50% of the bigger channel here, and alternatively we have the top end of this channel here. So if we do actually look to bounce around something like this would be a zone I'd be actually interested in seeing how we react around. Should be the top end of this channel, which we've tested a few times here. We're currently testing the bottom of this one. If we do lose this and come back and sort of back test it, then it would be more likely we're actually following the other option, which we'll go over in a second. So make sure you stay tuned so you see all the different possibilities. So this is something I haven't ruled out yet. We could still see this play out, where we get this as a diagonal within this move, and that could then look to complete this green fifth wave, and then we would be looking for that orange fourth wave to play out from there. So the target zone for this would change slightly depending on where we complete, but this 21,927 to this 1917 area could be a zone we actually look to backtest, and backtesting this previous structure here, or alternatively coming back and trying to backtest this channel or the top end of this channel. So we can see there's a few areas that we could look to sort of target out within this zone if we do start to move down deeper. So the main, this is the way that I'm also looking at it. If we want to change the position, we can argue that the third wave is actually over here, and that all of this move is actually just a big choppy mess as a correction. So what we'd be looking for here is basically this is a flat, this is a B wave, which we did say can actually push up one more time if it wants to. So even if we do get even if we do get a move to the upside here, which takes us high, we'd have to be careful that we don't get a 5-wave move playing out afterwards, where this whole thing becomes where this whole structure basically becomes a W. So it just actually it would still be an ABC. It would just that this would move over. So effectively, this would be an A. This would be potentially a B, and then we'd look for that C wave. So if we do want to just bounce around within these zones and we actually start to form this, what we'd be on the lookout for is if we do form a 5-wave move here that sort of just comes and takes this B wave high and then turns around, we could see a flat correction come in here where we get a 5-wave move actually play out from this point rather than where we are at the moment. So we're going to have to just see what happens here. If this B wave holds, it is possible we are in the C wave already. And the way that we'd be looking at that is there's two ways. So we can look at this as a simple impulse, and we can look at this as an impulse that potentially has some extension. So the simple impulse would just be looking at this as a 1, 2 as a flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, 4, and then this whole move here would potentially be the wave 5 completed, where we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, there is something to note about this. There is a possibility we could have an additional leg down here by moving this around a little bit, where we get this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, sorry, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then fifth. So if we do push down one more time, I'm going to just throw this on. So let's have a look here. So if we come into this zone here, I'm going to just go from there. 382 is up here. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go off this area here because that's a 382 retracement. If we do push up slightly higher, it could look to take us to that 50%, which actually lines up with the previous high point here. But if we do move up one more time, we could actually still look to push down towards this 123, sorry, this 22,528 to this 22,367. This could be a zone we actually look to drop down into if we are looking at a 5-wave structure that hasn't completed yet. Within this structure, what we'd be looking for though is the fact that we'd want to see this wave 2 play out. So even if we do move down slightly deeper here, we would be looking for this move back to the upside here and seeing if we get this rejection within this option. So if we do move down a bit lower, it would change this target range. Um, and it depends exactly where in this green box we end up. If we argue, we come down to test some of these points here. Effectively, that 50% would be retesting the structure in the middle here. 786 would be up here at this 23,851. So this could be a zone we actually look to move back into if we do move down one more time. If we don't, and we hold this low that we've currently set at 22,628, we can argue that we're starting to form some structure here to the upside, where we could look to this to potentially be a 1, 2. Then we come back, look for a third, fourth, and a fifth, or it could become a corrective structure. If we're looking at it as a wave 2, it can be anything at once besides a triangle. So we just got to give it a bit of time to develop. Currently, the target range for this would be this 23,900 to this 23,430. So we can see there's a bit of areas. The 50% once again is in this little consolidation point here. This support that we had here is within that golden pocket at the top here, this 23,757 to this 23,670. So that's something that we might actually look to come back and retest here if we're going to look to push to the downside. Okay, so this basically would be looking for, if we do move up back to that 618 area, moving past this 21,951 would actually give us would give us confirmation of a third, fourth, and a fifth. So this is all looking for that deeper fourth wave that we've been talking about for a while here, where we're actually looking to come back into this zone of this 21,467 to this 20,345. So we need to just be careful with this because we need confirmation of this fourth wave to play out, because like we've been saying previously, we don't have a complete 5-wave move yet. We've just got a 3-wave move to the upside. So If we do drop down and find support and push back up one more time for the fifth wave, then we can argue that we have completed a 5-wave move. However, for as long as we don't complete this, we just need to be careful, because if we do start to form impulsive moves to the downside, we could actually be looking for that fifth wave still to the downside, which would mean we're going to be continuing to the downside and effectively looking to break that low point that is in place. Um, but for as long as we hold support and we continue to move within these ranges, and follow this channel, it is still possible we've got another fifth wave to the upside here. So that's what we're looking at here. As a bigger 5-wave move looking to come back, potentially retest this channel or this channel that we broke out of over here. We haven't had a retest of it since we've broken out of it, so it is possible that we do actually come down here and retest this zone. The other way we can look at this is if we look at it as a extension within the move. So this does look complicated, but we're going to go over it. I'll actually remove some of this noise here. Let's remove that. So we can see here, actually, this is the additional fifth wave I was saying that we could potentially get. So if we look at this move slightly different from the top as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this would mean that we're actually within the third wave of the third wave here. So this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then potentially a fifth wave down into this zone here. If we do, we don't have confirmation of this count yet. So basically what I want to see here is a rejection off of this orange fourth wave within this zone. So this 23,100 all the way sort of up to this 22. Well, this would be a typical zone. This 22,987, this 23,100 would basically be the upper range of this. What we don't want to see here, if we're looking for this count to be playing out, is we don't want to cross this 23,207. That would invalidate this count as it is shown. But if we do look to push up here, it depends where we end up exactly. If we look to push up to the 50%, which would be the top end of this move, potentially this target box becomes a bit lower here at this 22,520 to this 22,345. But what we're looking for here is confirmation of moving past this 22,304. If we do move down past this 23,004, then we'll be looking for this additional fourth wave to the upside, and then this fifth wave to the downside. So this is just something that we're going to have to keep an eye on within this move. This could then look to actually push us down to this 21,931 to this 21,649 if there isn't further extension going on here that I haven't seen yet. So this would mean that we actually just drop straight down. We don't actually bounce back up for that wave 2 and then look to potentially break down like that. But like we were also saying, we can potentially count this as a completed 5-wave move here. So we have to just be careful that we don't start to break to the upside. And even so, if we do get one more push down here, we'll need to see how we react. Um, like I said, we want to see the evidence of these fourth waves playing out. If we complete the orange 5-wave move, effectively moving up past this point here of this 23,228 would actually invalidate this teal 5-wave move, and then this move up here would be invalidated by actually moving up past this 23,658. If we break this high point effectively up here at this 24,253, it would invalidate all of this potential for an impulsive structure, whether that's looking at this as a simple impulse or whether it's looking at this as the extension that we have on the screen currently. So that's what I'm currently having a look at. I do think that basically we've got either this is still progressing up here in a diagonal, like we're saying, or alternatively, this whole mess here is just becoming a bigger structure, and we would just have to give it a bit of time to play out. Like I said, we just need to be careful because we can argue that we have something like this that could still play out, where we actually then look to move down from there, and this could actually look to sweep these highs, take out some of the liquidity there, and then actually look to break down again. Alternatively, like I said, we could form a diagonal up here and then look to break down. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down in the comment section below. Always happy to hear from you. In the description, you'll find a link to the Discord one, or come check it out. It's free to join. When you're in the general chat area, just add mention a member staff, and we'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Also, while you're down there, you'll find a affiliate link to BYBIT and Primex BT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis when we do our trading. Um, you know, if you don't have an account with them, using the account does help support the channel. And as well as that, there is deposit bonuses, which can be found within the links. Basically, if you meet the requirements, then you can get some deposit bonuses for trading with. Okay, everyone, hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.